Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Colonial Downs here on Friday. It's the 1st of September 2023. Gonna look at the sixth race from Colonial, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5 for more selections for race courses around the world, and I mean it around the world. Let's look at the sixth from Colonial, which is a launch optional claimer, purse $80,000. Race for 3-year-olds and upwards, never won 2 races of the main claim starter, Virginia restricted race, or claiming price $50,000 here. We have a field of 7 horses going to the outer turf course, the distance of ground here of 1,700 meters, or excuse me, 1,900 meters, or the distance of ground of a mile 3/16 on the Colonial outer turf course. 1,900 meters, mile 3/16, and I show the diagram. Just gives me a second to look down my notes. Just bear with me. Sorry, I'm stupid. I can't do 2 things at the same time. I'm going to take the 2-horse No One to Blame as a top selection. 2-1-5-7 in the superfecta. 2-1-5-7 super. Top selection, 2-horse No One to Blame. This 5-year-old gelding by Blame here. Michael Trombetta trains one, gets Rosado up in the saddle. The horse's most recent outing came 12th of August, which was just under 2 weeks ago, so 13 days ago. Here at Colonial, mile 16th inner turf course, Ops 50 claimer, and he finished second by 1 1/4 lengths that day, and he just kind of stalked all the way around the race course. He had the lead, he got overtaken late, but he didn't go down without a fight. Maybe, a little bit time between the previous race, he might needed the run, but I didn't think he ran half bad. Previous race, it was his first start in nearly 2 years. First start, that was 25th of June at Laurel, mile on a good turf course, launch race 55,000. He won by 1 3/4 lengths that day, and he stalked all the way around the race course. He got to the front end and quickened up nicely, and it was an all-around good run. 15-1 also on him. Quite impressive, with it being his first starts also since the 9th of September of 2021. That came at Laurel on a yielding turf course and launch race 60,000. He finished 4th by 2.5 lengths that day. He had a wide trip that day, a little bit of traffic trouble in the lane, but he was closing up well late. Not a bad race for him after all said and done. And then on June of 2021 at Delaware, mile 16th in the launch race 40,000. He finished 4th by 3 1/4 lengths that day. He was a little bit wide, and again, he still needs something more, but again, he ran his heart out. Since coming back in his 2 races, they've been really quite nicely run. He's training well since the last race. 3-4 workout, 36-3. The second best workout 6. I'm going to use him on the ticket. The 1-horse Flop Shot could also get a piece of it for Elizabeth Foss and Jevion Toledo. Most recently, 20th July locally in a mile 16th Ops 50. He finished 3rd by 3.5 lengths that day, and he just needed something more. It was his first start on the Colonial surface, so maybe he needed the race. I do think with a longer trip, he gets a little bit better. Prior to that, a mile 16th of Laurel and Ops 55. First start over the flat. First start of the flat of the season for him. He finished 5th by 6 1/4 lengths, and again, he just needed something more. He kind of hit the wall late, maybe he needed the run, and then a great meadow over the hurdles, 2 miles and 1/8 in a main special weight hurdle. He didn't finish the race. He lost a rider. What can you do? But he was previously trained by Chad Brown last season. The final race of 2022 came at Aqueduct, a mile and off Lady Claimer, where he finished 4th by 2 1/4 lengths. Big Everest is a decent horse. One next start out. Good Governance finished second as a decent horse, and the 3rd place finisher Anaconda is a decent horse, was the next start winner. This horse didn't break so well, was a little bit wide, and he just was a little bit flat that day. He ran before that a year ago to the day at Saratoga, mile 8th and optional 80, where he finished 3rd by 4 lengths that day, and again had a horrible beginning, which cost him. But he has races in the past that could win. They thought highly of him quite a few seasons ago, but then he missed a year in at the end of 2020, came back at the end of 2021, where he didn't run half bad in defeats in some of those spots. Coming here today with a longer trip, he could win. Even the 5-horse Girl Dad, he ran on dirt most recently in option 40 at Laurel, where he just never really got going. Back to turf over the flat should really suit him well. His races last fall and summer could definitely win when he was running over the flat, after quite a few starts. He was doing well in those races. Since coming to the jumps, it just hasn't been working out. I like him back to the longer trip. He could definitely win. I'll use him on the late pick 4 ticket, which begins with this race. But to recap my selection for the 6 from Colonial, I'm going to take the 2-horse No One to Blame. Give kudos to the 1-horse Flop Shot and the 5-horse Girl Dad. 2-1-5-7 Super. 2-1-5 in your multi-race. So good luck to all. Please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5. Good luck, everybody.